Hello, this is Lamore. The topic that I want to discuss today is called, I call this topic Spiritual Nuthead. And the reason why I call this topic a spiritual nuthead, I want to explain to you why I am saying this. Um, if you have been spiritual for God and God have spoken to you and told you to take a break on being over spiritual or spiritual and just kind of get back to being normal the way you was before you got God. Now, what I mean by being normal is basically not taking everything to the extreme, not thinking that everything that happens toward you is something from the devil attacking you, or you just thinking everybody is against you. And this is something that happens, to people that get over spiritual, okay? Now, being spiritual is fine. You do have to prove yourself to God when you first come in the kingdom. You do have to pay your dues and show God that you are willing to be spiritual for him and walk in his ways, in reference to being spiritual, reaching people and all the above that comes with walking with God. Now, the deal is, if God is speaking to you in a certain season after you have paid your dues, let's say you've been spiritual for 3 or 4 years of walking with God. You've been straight spiritual, doing what you do to, continue on finishing your purpose. Now, if all of a sudden God comes out and say in a certain season, in that certain 3rd or 4th year, he might say in that 3rd year, daughter or son, I want you to be normal again. I want you to kind of tone it down. Take a break from being spiritual, okay? Take a break from trying to figure out what's going on in your life or why this is going on or what's next. Just take a break. Just get back to being normal. You know how worldly people that's lost, if you notice, they're normal. They don't get me wrong. Everyone has something with them in different areas of their life. But as far as the basics, they normal. They go to the store, they watch TV, they listen to music, they cook, they might go out to eat. These are like normal type things. They live in life, right? But the deal is something that it's just something about when people walk with God and they get spiritual. It's kind of like they take the spiritual level to a whole nother notch, to where they become over spiritual. And remember, I talked about in one of my previous videos how you can be imbalanced in your life, like too much of anything can mess you up or harm you. Okay, being over spiritual can also mess you up. It can harm you, and to where it can mess with your mental state. Okay, now what I mean by over spiritual is when a person, let's say a person at work is bumping your chair. Okay, they might walk by your chair while you're working and they bump your chair. Don't say excuse me. I just want to let you know that's not always going to be the devil. That doesn't mean that is the devil just because they bumped your chair. Okay, I want you to understand that. Now, the second thing, if a kid walks by a grown-up or another teenager and scream in their ear, that doesn't mean just because someone's screaming in your ear that the devil is using them. That doesn't mean it's the devil. You see what I'm saying? Now, the third example I want to explain to you is that when you see these things happen, like people bumping your chairs at work or bumping you in the store in the line as you're waiting to pay for your groceries, for example, or if kids are screaming in your ear, or even a grown neighbor is playing loud music, if you're over spiritual, it's a possibility you will say it's the devil because you're over spiritual. This is what happens to over spiritual people. They start taking stuff to the extreme, to another notch. You see what I'm saying? So the deal is, to tone that down a bit, is be normal. What God mean by being normal is that if somebody bump your chair, somebody scream in your ear, someone give you a short of change in the store when they give you your change back after you paying for an item, just understand that doesn't mean that they're being used by the devil. Not all the time. You see what I'm saying? But when you're normal, the secret is when you're being normal and you become normal again as God is asking you to do, you're going to look at things in a normal way. You're going to look at it and you're going to know when you're normal again, because when you become normal again, when things like this happen to you, you're going to say, okay, that's life. I ain't bumped somebody's chair accidentally. I ain't screamed to somebody's ear hollering my friend name across the hall. I have accidentally gave someone the wrong change, or I gave someone the wrong paperwork, or the wrong whatever it may be. That's when you're going to know you're getting back to normal. When you start not being bothered about what things and people do around you, depending on what it is, because some things I know it can really just ache your nerves and tick you off. I understand that. You're a human being. That's normal. But at the same time, when you become over spiritual and you don't tone it down, as I said earlier, like the Lord requested, these things can happen. You're going to start thinking that everyone around you is trying to attack you. They're being used by the devil, and you're going to think that it's something wrong with everything. And you're going to think that everything is something to do with the devil and the demons using people. Or you see what I'm saying? If you're like another thing, if you're not normal and you're being over spiritual, this is how you know you're still in the over spiritual realm. If your door opens up by itself while you're doing let's say a teaching, for example, or if you're helping your child with their homework and your door just blow open, if you have God and you're spiritual already for Him, you know what you're going to think if that door opens by itself? You're going to think the devil did it. Ain't nothing but the devil blowing my door open, child. That's the devil. It must be some demons in this house. No, ma'am. It doesn't mean a demon is in your house because your door open. It doesn't mean that the devil is in your home. It's just that the door opened and the wind blew it open from the outside because the wind is blowing hard in your home through your window. These are just human life type actions. You see what I'm saying? These are normal things. So if you're still thinking that way, that everything's the devil, that means you're not normal like God told you to be. You're still being over spiritual. Now, once you see things like this happen, if you're helping your child with their homework, for example, again, and the door open and blows open because of the wind outside, and you look at the door and say, oh, okay, that's nothing to it. The door just opened because the wind blew it open from outside. I have my window open in my room, so that's normal. When you start talking like that, ladies and gentlemen, then you're going to know, that's when you're going to know that you are normal again. You're back the way God wants you to be. Okay, so that's basically what I'm trying to explain to you, because I understand. I've been there, so that's why I just was trying to break this down to you, keep it simple, and that's it. And just understand, if God asks you to be normal, it doesn't mean that He doesn't love you anymore. It doesn't mean that He's trying to restrict you from being spiritual. Because some people, don't get me wrong, when they become spiritual for God and learn all these new things in the spiritual realm, in the kingdom of God, they get attached to it. They get attached to seeing stuff in the spirit. They get attached to doing things in the spirit for God. And they just get attached to that life. Once you make it your lifestyle, you can't get attached. And the devil knows that, and don't get me wrong, he can kind of mess you up to where he can make you over spiritual. Because Satan know the Bible, Satan know everything. He know a lot of things that God, have us doing, and he know what's going on with us. So he will try to make you kind of go overboard with some of the things in your life and in your walk with God. So you just kind of have to watch that and just basically balance things out, and you'll be good to go. Now, I just wanted to explain to you about this topic. And that's the reason why I said, if you are looking at everything like it's the devil, then that means, yes, you are becoming a spiritual nuthead. That's what I mean by nuthead. Please don't take it to the extreme or personal, because it's not that serious. I just was putting it out there and just breaking it down. So if you are called to be normal right now in this season, understand, like I said earlier, that God is not trying to restrict you from anything in your walk. He's just trying to get you to be normal and just get back to living your life. I ain't say live your life like go do habits again, like smoking drugs or smoking cigarettes or partying every day, all day, and forgetting about God. I was very specific, people, so please don't take what I'm saying and go do the old stuff you used to do that God told you to let go. Okay, I was very specific. So I just wanted to explain that to you. What I mean by being normal, like I said, is just basically living life, chilling, not being bothered about a lot of stuff. The way you did when you was worldly, it works the same way. That's what he mean by going back being normal. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to share this message with you. This is Lamore. God bless.